and actually with the Greyhound, but he's a pushover. We try to maintain his alpha because he's the older of the two.
Yeah, let nature dictate that though.
All right.
It doesn't matter who's older. That's not the way nature works.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's definitely.
Yeah. So sometimes when that's a very common tendency people do. They have one dog that's already there, so they want that dog to feel like it's alpha.
Okay.
But again, nature doesn't work that way.
Okay.
And so what happens is, if we don't acknowledge what nature is dictating, sometimes the dogs become more forceful in demonstrating what nature is dictating.
Okay.
So they go, how come people don't understand this? And then what you start to see is increased aggressiveness towards each other, because she knows I'm just presuming, she knows she's more dominant.
Yeah.
But everybody else is treating the Greyhound as more dominant, so now she
Right.
has to really prove her point.
Okay.
Which means, like in nature, nature's red in the tooth, right? So when
Right.
dominance needs to be proved, it's done through
Right.
aggression, right?
Right.
In fact, another term in dog behavior or dog ethology for dominance is social aggression,
Right.
right?
Right.
So we want to be careful about that.
Okay.
Age does not dictate dominance in
And
the dog world.
that's interesting because the trainer in Albany was basically, okay, he's older, and the way we would so let's get her to recognize him as the alpha, and the way we would do that is the Greyhound goes out the door first.
Yeah, but he's only being recognized as alpha through his own behavior.
Yeah, which is he's not.
Right. Dominance is relational.
Okay.
Right? It's about relationships. So a dog isn't dominant in a vacuum. They're dominant in their relationships. So when we say a dog is a dominant dog, what we mean is sort of like, if I were to introduce her, for instance, to 100 different dogs, that on average, she's going to behave dominantly towards more of those dogs than she would behave submissively towards.
Okay.
It's always on a spectrum.
Okay.
Right? So you'll rarely meet, in fact, most people will never in their lives meet like a 100% alpha dog, because they just barely exist. We've bred dogs to not be that way.
Right. Right.
And so, most dogs, you can find another dog that they will show submissiveness to, especially in the right contexts.
Okay.
Right? So in a vacuum, dominance doesn't exist. It exists in how they relate to each other, how they behave with each other, how confident they are around each other. Nothing we do is going to change that.
Okay.
Because it's all about how your Greyhound behaves around her, right? And so if the Greyhound is less confident than she is in their interactions, but we're elevating the Greyhound, she's going to go, how come these people don't get it?
Right.
Now I have to really show, right? Now, she may not be the kind of dog that cares that much to demonstrate it. A lot of dogs don't. A lot of dogs, you could do whatever you want to. Neither one of them cares about climbing that social ladder, and you're never going to run into problems no matter what, right? But, again, just let nature dictate, or in the absence of a clear distinction between the two dogs, what we do is, when it comes to who we let out first, who we feed first, it's just based on good behavior.
Okay.
Who's the calmest?
Okay.
I'm going to let the calmest dog, that's what I do with my dogs. My Shepherd's way more dominant than my Terrier, but who goes out first has nothing to do with that. I'm going to use going out the door to reinforce behavior that I find acceptable.
Okay.
Because really all that matters is that I'm more dominant than both of them, and I control their access to those things.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So we just use it as an opportunity to reinforce, recognizing that access to the outside world is reinforcing.
Dependent on...
Right? It's something that
on
they
the
enjoy.
alpha. The alpha being the person.
Even aside from that, even aside from any discussion of alpha, right? It's just they want to go outside, which means it's a reward. It can be used as leverage, right? Anything they want can be used as leverage, right? So, hey, you guys both want to go outside? Cool. Here's what I want. I want calm behavior.
Okay. That makes sense.
No discussion of dominance even needs to be present in that. It's just a matter of, how can I make sure that I'm reinforcing what I like and not reinforcing what I don't like?
That makes perfect
sense. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a whole lot
of
sense.
I'm not saying that dominance doesn't exist or that it doesn't play a role, but it can be more simple than that,
Right.
And we want to be thinking about what are the resources that our dogs enjoy, so that we can use those things as leverage, and so that we're not always dependent on finding a more valuable treat because my dog doesn't care about this one anymore. Well, if they get all the things they enjoy in life for free, then we're always searching for that higher value reinforcer, right? But it's just like children, I have 2 children, and, my son likes to watch television. Well, cool, but like, if you don't get dressed yet, you don't get television yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
it's little, he's 4, so getting dressed is a thing. It's not like he's like an 18-year-old, that would be a
No,
weird
no,
discussion, but,
I figured that he was
you
a
know,
little one.
it's the same kind of thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
He likes candy. We don't just give candy. We have a little sticker chart in the house. And he gets stickers for good choices. Amanda made my little sticker chart for me. He gets stickers for good choices, and X amount of stickers, he gets some candy, right?
Okay.
So we use these things that he enjoys as leverage for us so that we're not arguing and battling and this and that. And so that's all it boils down to.
Right.
The going outside is just a thing the dogs enjoy.
Right.
Well, what do we enjoy? What do we want from them? How do we want the dogs to behave?
We want calm behavior.
So let's reinforce that. Feeding. What do we want? We want calm behavior. So let's feed the calmest dog first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Regardless of who's older, or who we think is more dominant,
Okay.
or whatever, they're going to sort out who's more confident around each other. I mean, they're going to sort that stuff out. Let's focus on just reinforcing behavior that we actually approve of.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that simplifies things tremendously
Yeah.
for us. Tremendously. Yeah. Yeah. And then again, same thing with our consequences. It's just approving or disapproving of behavior.